Thank you, Sarah. I think we're a few minutes ahead of schedule, but we'll keep going. Our next visitors are Carol and Scott Glenn. Scott is an actor who's appeared in over 60 films. I'll name a few: Urban Cowboy, Silverado, Silence of the Lambs. He is also a poet and the author of Room Service, Poems for Carol. Carol Glenn is a ceramic artist and recipient of the Moonhole Fellowship from the Institute of Contemporary Art in Boston. They've been residents of Ketchum since 1978. Welcome, Carol and Scott.
Hi, I'm Carol. This is Scott. I'm just going to give you a little background about this book. We celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary this year.
Unbelievable.
And every year for 50 years, Scott wrote me a poem. And I saved them all, and thanks to some wonderful people here, we pulled it all together, and this is the creation. So I'm going to let Scott read to you.
Kind of an odd experience reading my own words, but here goes. I'm going to read a few of these poems. Carol is the muse and the subject of all of them. The first is a short poem called Our Dance. I hold you until your art calls, then let go, as you do with me. Holding on, letting go, holding on again. The dance of artists in love. Bandit country. Crossing the borders of your soul with no passport, on the run, the breath of pursuers' black ice needles down my neck's nape. You are my bandit country, where high, warm rock feeds the sun into my veins, on my belly, a vantage point for sniping, or over on my back, arms and legs stretched flat, a pulsing sky above, a glow, and all your colors, every color I have known in holding you. You are my bandit country. Here I have come home. This one's called Silly Things. Has a bit to do with where we live. I seem to find meaning in silly things. Daydreams turn to fantasy. Wardrobe, makeup, a trigger's press, the bursting jolt of energy at the end of a barrel, the heart-gulping launch of fear and joy as the bike, leaned over, screams through a turn, the long, slow, strangely gentle dissolve of everything but the sun-drenched labor of the moment as one foot in front of the next, I move up the side of the summer mountain, swinging weights, wearing words, things whose purpose lacks the sensible, the practical, divorced from what I am and have been told in the real world. But of all the silly things that sketch the picture of my life, the silliest of all must be skiing. Riding down a frozen sea of snow and ice in order to do it again. Finding in it only complete release, gravity, the power of the universe, behind you in your tracks, wind, speed, and grace, making sense of it all in the simple act of this silly thing. Elk hunt. My heels scrunched into brush and rocks lying back on my pack in the warmth of this mid-morning fall sunshine. Tears slide off my nose onto the elk lying next to me alone in Timber Gulch. I call you. The red pulsing ribbon of 6th Avenue off to the north, wind snapping the flags down on the Hudson, all white lights on the Empire State, beads of rain popping against the corner window like birdshot. Can't sleep, tomorrow in Brooklyn, martial arts, no double, I call you. In these times of joy, times of fear, times of excitement, I need your voice to bridge the gap between us, to make your present and my present the same now, and know the most exciting, scariest, and best thing of all is still happening. And I'll finish off with a couple more short ones. It's called My Baby Needs to Cry in the Morning. She dances through the day, lives on laughter, cuddles in warmth, loves with a rapturous smile, but my baby needs to cry in the morning. When her passion warms my freezing soul and the strength of her presence wipes away my fear and her balanced sight gives me a compass in the wilderness, remember, my baby needs to cry in the morning. She's a languorous tropical swim, a breathless mountain bike, a hot urban boogie, looser than a Baja breeze, hipper than city satin, and she brings it all together because my baby needs to cry in the morning. And this will either be the last or the next to the last, up to you guys. It's called Dancing on the Hudson. In each boat, a story. A broker, tired, wet wind in his face, going home to Jersey. A tug captain's final run, hauling a late-night load against the tide. A cop, wiping away the salt, eyes peeled for anomalies. But for us, on the bed's edge, 37 floors up, they are lights dancing on the Hudson. And held in my heart, taste turns slippery, the rain slide free, soft turbulence diving into heat. Hold on, hips pivot, breath folds into breath, vapor trails of ecstasy, and you are there in the solitary pocket of my heart. That's pretty much it. I've got a bunch of others. This is not, certainly not my poetry, but needs to be expressed. I hope they're all here tonight. Acknowledgements. Our gratitude, that's me and Carol, our gratitude to photographer Kirsten Schultz, designer Drew Furlong, and editor Karen Oswald for transforming a drawer full of handwritten poems scribbled on planes and movie sets, in hotel rooms, up a backcountry canyon next to a dead elk, into this book. Thank you.